Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Chief Talk, this time for February. As you know, we're always trying to keep y'all informed about all the happenings in Gardopia land. So, I'm going to go over what happened in January, a preview of what's coming to February. Of course, we have to do what's in that box, and then some planting tips for February. So let's just do a quick recap of January, which we had 3 things that we really enjoyed with the community, including a workshop at Dawson Park, our farmers market, and of course resuming programming with our partners and schools. So, starting with the farmers market, we celebrated the Lunar New Year, an amazing event. All of these farmers markets are supported by the San Antonio Area Foundation and Metro Health and the Health Equity Network. So what does that allow us to do? It allows us to give away over 100 bags of fresh produce from River City Produce. We had the San Antonio Lion Dance Association come and do a lion dance for us. We had Chef Chang from Austin come and do a healthy cooking demo. And of course we had a ton of local vendors, which supporting small business and creating a circular economy is definitely first and foremost at Gardopia's thought of cultivating healthy communities. In addition to the farmers market, we also had a workshop at the Berkeley VM Dawson Park. So we have partnered with San Antonio Parks and Recreation to host monthly workshops in the garden. So this one was about maintaining your garden, because in December we started the garden where we planted all the plots. Well, guess what? It's not just enough to plant, you also have to maintain. So fertilizing, pest management, soil aeration. We also mulched the garden, and then we had to cover them because we had a little bit of a freeze. Some of y'all may even seen some snow the week of January 20th. So that protected all the crops and allowed them to optimize, which the next workshop I'll talk about in our February updates. And last but not least, we resumed programming at our schools and our community spaces. So at close to 60 schools and 8 school districts, in addition to some charter public schools and daycares, we began gardening once again this winter and moving into the spring. Volunteer opportunities. We had a volunteer opportunity with HEB and some other partners as well, like the Mission Continues. So overall, January was really busy for us, starting off 2025 in more than one way, and we are excited to continue this in the new year. Now, time for a little commercial break, because what's in that box? What's in that box? What's in that box? All right, so what's in that box, y'all? Let's see what's in that box. Whew, it's a little wet. It's been raining, thank the Lord. So, in this box, we got a DM from a company, said, hey, we want to send you some product. Go ahead, we really appreciate that. That is Plant and Plot. Woo! Go ahead and give Plant and Plot a follow. This is a metal raised bed. So normally we use wooden raised beds, but we'll also get our tractor and plow directly into the ground. These metal raised beds have been popping up over the past few years, and they do seem like a potential alternative. They may last a little bit longer than wood, but there are some detractions as well, especially in the summer with heat, although you can even get colored ones now. So we're going to test this out here, most likely at Gardopia, or maybe we'll set it up at Los Patios. But again, we really appreciate Plant and Plot for doing this. Why do you need a raised bed? What's the point, Steven? Just seems like an expensive addition. Well, there's a few different components or reasons why we use raised beds. One of those is soil quality. So, depending on where you live, maybe like on the north side where there's like a lot of limestone, or maybe you're in a region in the inner city where there might be some heavy metals in the soil, it's best just to build up. So that way you can control the soil quality in your raised bed. It also helps reduce the amount of weeding that you have to do, because the grass has to go into the garden and grow in, versus if you're just directly in the ground, it's very easy for the grass to penetrate. It also helps with structure, it helps with cleanliness and organization. So there's multiple benefits of doing raised beds. You don't have to, but again, in many settings, it just makes the most sense. It contains the garden and allows people who are just getting started, especially our youth or newbie gardeners, to get a good idea of like exactly where their garden is. And you can even do things like square foot gardening. You can read that book by Mel Bartholomew, Square Foot Gardening. All right, so now let's move to February. February is upon us. We have a ton of things lined up, including our partnership at Dawson Park. We started our garden. We've maintained our garden. Now it is time to harvest our garden. So you can come to Dawson Park, I believe it's February 15th from 12 to 2 p.m. with Chef Sherry in the mix. And we're going to be not only harvesting the garden, but we're going to be cooking some fresh, tasty, nutritious, delicious foods for you. Because it's one thing to grow it, but that gap between growing it and eating it can sometimes be difficult for people. And so we're going to show you how to do that. We also have another farmer's market. This farmer's market is going to be Mardi Gras theme. It's going to be on the last day of February, February 28th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's on a Friday. It's going to be a night market, so come out. Vendors, we'd love to have y'all. Of course, our community, we're going to be giving out fresh produce. We may even be giving out some fruit trees. So stay tuned for more information about that. Of course, we'll have all the great vendors and entertainment as usual. And then, last but not least, we're going to be at the rodeo. That's actually where I'm wearing this jacket. Shout out to Julie's Monogram for hooking me up with this awesome jacket, y'all. Y'all are going to see us out there from February 6th through February 23rd. Right at the entrance, when you walk in to the right, you're going to see our urban agriculture exhibit, which is going to continue to amaze all the folks on how you can grow food in the inner city. You may not grow all your food, but maybe you got some chickens. Maybe you got some lettuce. Maybe you got some herbs and some mint. We will be having a plant sale so y'all can buy your spring plants from us. And we're just going to be having a good time out there, y'all. So those are some ways to plug into our mission in February. You may have come to our farmers markets in January, which we started the Garden Army. So if you're interested in volunteering this spring at our schools, community centers, churches, we can use your help. Just send us a DM or email us in the inquiry form. So while we're all here, I know we love what's in that box, but the gardening tips is where the rubber hits the road, or the seed hits the soil, should I say. February is a changing period. The official start of spring is the spring equinox, which is in mid to late March, around March 20th, plus or minus a few days, right? Well, guess what? Here in San Antonio, Texas, spring starts early. Spring will be starting in mid to late February for the most part. You know, every once in a while you can get a cold blast in March, but it's been rare these past few years. So we need to get our seedlings started in our greenhouse or on our window sills or in your grow rooms. Start getting your peppers, your tomatoes, your eggplants, your cucumber, your squash started in 4.5-inch pots or in soil blocks as well is a great way to reduce your plastic use. You're going to be getting those started in early February, so March 1st hits, boom, your plants are in the ground, they're already 3 to 6 inches, and they're ready to grow, all right? February is also still not too late to put out some wildflower seeds. Are you going to have the great super bloom germination that you would have if you had put them out in October, November, or December? Probably not, but you're still going to get some germination, and different flowers will definitely still be able to thrive from those April showers to the May flowers. So, highly encourage y'all to get your seedlings started for your spring crop. And if you have any questions, you can always go to cultivatesa.org and cultivatesa.com, which is our magazine, and it has a spring planting guide. And that is courtesy of Clemson University, which we're so thankful for. All right, y'all. Until next time, hopefully y'all enjoyed this Chief Talk. My co-chiefs were out. One of them is super busy working on a grant report, and the other one has been out in the field at our schools and just wasn't able to join us. But if you see Sherry and Dom out there in the streets or in the gardens, tell them what's up, and we'll see you soon. Peace.